Hello and welcome to Divine Messages with Max Ryan and Polly Wirum. We are excited to have you here today. Welcome to the show where there is no script, there is only intuition. I am a professional intuitive and a coach, and I'm also a spiritual teacher, and my partner, Polly Wirum, is also, and you'll meet her in just a second. So welcome to the next 45 minutes to an hour where we help you by delivering divine messages from source, from spirit guides, from possibly your loved ones. That would be awesome. Oh, wait, hold on one second. That's crazy. I heard myself talking in the background. All right, so welcome. It's great to have you here. So we have a wonderful, amazing guest today, and what we do here is that we deliver messages from the divine, and we also deliver messages for our guest today, the beautiful Julie, who is going to be coming up. And you might be able to see her down there right now. And so we will be here for about, like I said, about 45 minutes to an hour. And today is a special, special show because today is New Year's Eve here in the United States. I know in Australia, some people in Australia, it's already 2016, but this is our special New Year's Eve show where after we talk to Julie and deliver divine messages, both Polly and I are going to coach you. We're going to coach you into assessing 2015 and projecting what 2016 is going to manifest for you in your life, in your career, in your business, in your relationships, in your finances. We're going to go through that. So I'll tell you right now is that one thing you have to do is get a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil because there's going to be writing to do today. So we're excited that you're here with us. So without further ado, I want to introduce my incredibly talented friend and colleague, the amazing intuitive and coach, Polly Wirum. Hi, Polly.
Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, Max. Hello, Julie. Like Max was saying, and okay, we use our intuition, but we also laugh a lot.
Yes,
so, as Julie's already found out, so you're just gonna laugh. But I am an intuitive and an intuitive coach, and I love working. I love what I do. So I work with people in Nebraska where I live, and I work with people out in Venice, California, just about a week or week and a half, so very soon. Doing a live event, or so like a small gathering like this, which we love to do. And my website business is gateways2peace.com, and that's with the number 2, so gateways2peace.com. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is when we talk about the new year, I really want people to focus on something from 2015 that you're so grateful for, and you're taking it into the new year with you. So we'll talk about that later, but that's really important to have gratitude for what we've come through. So whatever it is, I mean, I personally right now am extremely grateful for something I just engaged myself from. I just got, was released from it. And I'm like, hallelujah, hallelujah, praise Jesus. Because
hallelujah.
What's true?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Because that's what life is all about. It's like, you know what, when something works out, it's like you are so grateful for it. And so I'm taking that energy with me into 2016, and I don't have very long to wait. So there you go.
Yay! Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're here. Let me just tell you a little programming note is I do know that we have been off for a few weeks for the holidays, but we are back. We're back, and we will be having shows. There's a couple of little glitches in there, but we will be back for the next couple of weeks doing it at this time. Right?
Yeah, well, next Thursday, possibly not, because I'm going to be in California, and I think I'm busy on Thursday, as far as I know. But then after that.
Okay, so everyone just retract that. You can tell how professional we are.
Yeah.
Retract what I just said, because we will let you know when our next show is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it might just be the week after, anyhow.
Well, the week after I'm traveling.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we've got 2 weeks of traveling, so whatever.
We're busy. We're busy.
Yeah.
And I do think that this is true. Let me just say this really quickly before we go into we do a meditation, a little prayer before we start. Is that I do believe that 2016 is full of events, full of
Yeah.
change, full of a lot of
Yeah.
things for a lot of people. So it
Yes.
already is starting off with our lives.
Yeah.
And I think you all
Yes.
feel it too. All right,
Yes.
so one of the things that we believe in incredibly is the power of energy, and one of the things to focus energy or shift energy is to do a meditation or a prayer. And so today, Polly has the honor of bringing us into a vibration that's going to be receptive and loving and wonderful. So, Polly, go for it.
Thank you. Hey, and I also wanted to say that how I feel about 2016 is it's going to be a really powerful year. Like if there's something you want to accomplish, it's, on your path, you have so much energy supporting you. But in the same sense, if you if you make some decisions where you're not on your, where maybe something that's not the best decision, or maybe because even you doubt yourself or something, you will be quickly reminded of where you should be. You'll be quickly put back on your path. And I also feel like, especially in the beginning of 2016, the first 1 or 2 months, there's a lot of chaos. There's just a lot of stuff moving around, unless you're where you should be. I mean, unless you're really comfortable and you've embraced the life. Does that make sense? Yeah, anyhow, I've been feeling that.
It sure does, and I just pulled the card, and it made even more sense.
Yeah. So anyhow,
but
that's really.
I'm going to tell you all, here's the deal. I just picked a card when you were talking about that, because I just felt like I needed to pick a card. I followed my intuition.
Yeah.
This card is really powerful, and this card I'm going to bring up when we do the assessment and the reflection in the second half of the show. I'm going to bring this up because it's very similar to what you just said. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it on my computer right here. It's not on my deck, so it's over here. Okay. So.
And that's how Max and I work. And people, in case people haven't seen it before, that's how we work. We're very much, that's just how we work. So very much in line, picking up the same stuff, which is why it works out. So, okay, so everybody take a nice, beautiful breath. And I'm just saying thank you for everybody being here. And this is just a treat for sure. Take a nice breath in and release. We are welcoming in all of our guidance, all of our higher energies, the angels. We're welcoming in all the divine spirit that's within us already, all around us, supporting us and moving us forward into the future of pure bliss, pure contentment, of understanding the joy of being connected, understanding the joy of the holiness within, understanding the belief system that it's turning us around. It's almost turning us inside out, so that this beautiful holy network, this beautiful energy that we have within is not just on the inside, it's being completed and we're sharing it with the world around us. Take a nice breath in and release. And so it is.
And so it is. All right. So, So just so all of you know, is that usually before we move into Julie, our guest, beautiful lady, we usually get messages to deliver first, kind of universal messages. And I'm not going to wait till the end now. I feel like I do want to bring this card up, because I feel like this is the message that was coming through. So I'm just going to say, while you were saying that, I picked and this is a new deck that I've just gotten, which I really like a lot, and it's the World card. In the traditional tarot deck, the World card really is. I'll just read it to you. This is the fairy deck. You don't have to believe in fairies. You just have to be a fairy. Just kidding you. So the World card is the card that's all about. Really, it's about freedom to go in any direction. It's about you've made your journey. You've gotten through all the trials and tribulations, all the things that you've gone through your whole life, and maybe even just the last 6 months, but it might be your whole life. All the things that you've gone through and everything, it's finally coming to fruition. And it's really, you now are in a place where, like, the world is your oyster. You have a freedom to go anywhere that you want to. It's not quite the 21 card, but I mean, it's the 21 card. So it is the 21 card. I mean, so it's the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a whole new journey. And I think 2016 is very much like that. And like I was saying before, is that I've gotten so many messages that that it is about everyone kind of, it's a self-actualizing year. It's a self-actualizing year for so many of us. It's kind of and the reason that I say that really strongly is that you just look at what's happening in the world with the terror and the craziness and the racism and that, and you know what happens is, metaphysically, the stronger the light becomes, the stronger the dark becomes. So the light brings up everything unlike itself. So all this stuff that's fear, 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 that's, you know, I don't even have to go into it, all the different things that have been happening on the world that have been projected onto media, all those things are just examples of how much stronger love and peace and joy and total self-actualization with spirit is really happening right now. And I think 2016 is the perfect time that all of us are really going to be like, yeah, it's all working out. And I think that, you know, Polly's work, my work, a lot of people's work is about that, spreading that joy, spreading that love even more. Because if you just literally, I'm going to tell you something that's really practical. If you just watch the news, I mean, it's fine. We do need to watch the news because we have to be educated. But if you just watch it, you think, oh, everything's fearful, everything's crazy. No. That's a very small percentage of what's happening in the human experience. The human experience, on so many levels, people are getting honest with themselves, they're clearing out their crap, they're healing themselves, and they're moving forward in many different ways. So I really wanted to, that's the first thing that really came through for me that I wanted to say.
Yeah, and on that, and this goes a little bit with Julia, I'm going to just start with the overall and then move into Julia.
Go ahead.
Is that, you know, I think a lot of us, you know, have been doing, you know, are in touch with our spiritual side, or in touch with, you know, with joy, and just, you know, this simple things in life. Like, you can hold your cat and you feel the love. You feel that earthly love, that spiritual love, in so many different easy ways in our life. But, you know, sometimes it's hard to share that on the outside world, right? Like, you know, because when you feel that love, your boundaries are down. There's absolutely no boundaries between you and your kitty, right? Or whatever it is that you love, or your baby, or whatever. But when you move outside and you're afraid of being judged, that's different. You're not so completely open to the divine experience. But what I really feel is happening, or more and more people are going to be moving into the direction where, or just allowing themselves to be open. And being open, you feel a lot more. But it's, you know, it's a really beautiful thing, and I feel that that's really the shift is happening. And so it's like, you know, we've been open in our homes, or open in certain areas, like where we feel it inside, but we don't necessarily share that way with others or live our life that way. That's the difference that's going to start happening this year. And Julia, with you, on a personal note, I feel there's several things that came up just, you know, when we were talking about whatever, the stenciling on your wall. But one thing about this message for you is you are somebody that has done a lot with, you know, thinking about your beautiful self, you know, your centered self, all that stuff. You this year are absolutely, and I know nothing about you at all, but I feel this year you absolutely are really going to start showing. I don't know if you make products that you're selling. I don't know. There's something that you are really going to start promoting and changing and marketing of yourself. And I also got, you know, study with you. Like, I don't know if you're taking a class or a course or something, or you have been, but study. But you are ready. I wrote it down. You're ready to flourish. For sure. So that's kind of what this year is in your life. And being guided in a new direction, new beginnings. And can I tell her one other thing that I got? Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So there was one other thing that I picked up. You, and I feel like this, it could be a friend, but it could be like a daughter relationship or something, where it's a serious, like you've recently had a serious conversation, kind of like a heart to heart, but kind of a misunderstanding. So I feel like it's already happened or else it's going to happen. And I wrote just full disclosure, like, so do full disclosure. So I feel like if somebody, you kind of had to say, this is how I feel. This is, you know, wasn't necessarily, you know, I'm talking about, it wasn't necessarily an easy thing to sit down and say, but you had to do it. So if you haven't done it yet, do it. And I feel as a female. Does that make sense to you?
Julie, you need to
Okay.
unmute your microphone. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I mean it's so fitting. You just bringing tears to my eyes, and
yeah,
it just happened.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree. I agree with you. I think that there's, I mean, it's so interesting, Julie. First of all, the first thing I wanted to say to you is that when I first saw you, first of all, I do want to emphasize this to all the viewers, is that we don't know Julie. We've never met Julie. Julie has been in my periscopes for a while, but I don't really know her. She's a chat little thing that comes up. I don't really know her. She's in a group. I don't really know her. I've never seen her. So I want to make sure that you all know that. Now, Julie, but when you first came on and I saw your image when we were tuning in the pre-show, I was like, aha! There is I feel an older gentleman with you. I feel like that is your spirit guide. There's a spirit guide who's an older gentleman with you, who has been a monk, who has been a religious, like a very, very, very serious, kind of stern, religious, maybe not a monk, I'm not sure, a priest or a monk or something, that's been with you for a long time. I feel like him with you a lot. And, oh, that's so interesting. Now, this is going to kind of confuse you for a second, but maybe it won't because you're kind of advanced. Is that this spirit guide is very much like my spirit guide. It's like he is you from another lifetime coming back to guide you. Does that relate to you at all?
Yes.
Okay. So it's you. It literally it's another energy, but it's you from another life. Now this is very, very deep stuff. It's very much like my guide Gawain. That's what I was like. Oh my gosh, she's very much like me. And so this man who you were, but let's just say it's another person, was very, very, very religious, kind of stern, and kind of very I don't want to say stern is not the word. It's he is very maybe it is stern, rigid, or whatever, but very much like, you have to do this. This is what you're going to do. You're going to do this. But very dedicated to God. Very dedicated to God. And you're very dedicated to God. There's something in you that's very dedicated to God. Do you understand what I'm saying, Julie?
Yes.
Yeah. But it's been a trial for you in this lifetime, a trial for you to be dedicated to God, because you've tried like 4 or 5 paths. I'm hearing 4 or 5 different, like, how does it work? How does it work? How does it work? In this path, and you've realized that organized religion has led you to a place where you felt like crap about yourself. Ooh, that's just sorry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah.
It's given you guilt, or it's given you craziness, or something like that. But I'm going to show you. I picked 2 cards for you. The 3 of Swords, which is about you pulling back, reassessing, and looking at spirit, looking at yourself, looking at your life, and going, I think I might be willing to be more vulnerable. Might be willing to try this again. And I don't know if that was in the recent past, or if that was in where you just kind of like step back and go, I've got to reevaluate what this spiritual stuff is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Is that recently, or was that like, quite a few years ago?
August this year.
Yeah, okay. So that's why you get this. And you're coming through with a lot. You have opened yourself up, a lot of help, a lot of guidance, a lot of aha moments for you in the last few months especially. Very much so. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, and I'll tell you this. My guy just told me she's making her own religion. Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're making your own religion. And I also picked this card as soon as, and I was picking it when Polly was talking about the daughter, about the whole that thing. I don't know if you have a daughter or there's a woman in your life. I kept feeling that there's some kind of, and I picked the Six of Rods, which is all about reconciliation, that things are working themselves out in like a coming home. There's all this is spiritual too, a coming home to your spirit, but there's also a reconciliation between you and another being. I don't know if is it your daughter?
It's my daughter.
It's your daughter. Do you see this? Do you know the tarot? Okay. So the tarot is the Six of Rods, and it's all about the coming home, that everything's working out. It's good news that reconciliation is happening. And I hear forgiveness, that there's forgiveness going on between the two of you. I'm not sure who it's coming from, but there's a forgiveness vibration around this situation. I'm sorry I didn't mean to
No,
make
Julie, I wanted to say, you know, when I was picking it up before, how I saw it was that you guys were actually talking in like a small little square room, and so you actually took, you know, you both had the foresight that it needed to be done, and it was in like a small controlled area,
Yes.
and it was full disclosure, and you just needed to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and so and it was guided, and you know, it's obviously a big thing because I picked it up.
Yeah.
Like that. But the fact that it was in a small enclosed area shows me, you know, number one, it was protected. And number two, it was without the chaos of other people getting involved. It was without so it was like, you guys made a simple environment, which is what it needed. And actually, that's what you two need to do, is take time for for the two of you to mend without the stuff of other people, which is, again, why I probably saw it in a small contained area. You know, there's a candle, like, for peace, but you know, without the problems of other people affecting you two.
Right.
And just one other note, like, another thing I was seeing with you is, like, if you can imagine if you've been going through, you know, the rapids on a little river, you've been going through the rapids and you can't put your feet down. You are, if you either are just starting to be able to feel the bottom and put your feet down and feel stable, or you very much soon will, and you're also going to be able to start enjoying life more. You're also going to be able to feel more at peace and not like it's such a struggle. That's where you're moving into, where you can actually enjoy, like when you have free time, you actually enjoy it instead of worry. So
Right.
that's right there for you. So you just have to realize that it's there, and that's absolutely where the direction you're going in, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I feel the same way. And you know what? This situation with your daughter was, because I just picked the Strength card in reverse. It was that you both had to reevaluate what your losing your strength in the relationship. There's something about a strength, a power struggle on some level, and it was about someone being vulnerable, someone just going, okay, forget it, I'm just going to be vulnerable. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that you or her, or is it both of you?
Me.
It's you. Yeah, it is. I felt like that too, because I'm really tuning into you right now. So the Strength card upside down is like you feel like you lost your strength, you feel like you lost your honor, you feel like you weren't respected. Maybe, I'm not sure what that's about, but now that was kind of the core of it. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it was situational, but it kind of found a very core is a big word. It hit a chord and a core fear for you. It hit a core fear, and it made you feel very vulnerable. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that it's pretty beautiful. This is great because now I picked the Justice card, which means that you two are now finding your balance. There was never a balance in your relationship
No.
before.
No.
There was never a balance in your relationship.
Never.
There was a power play. There was power plays. There was, and you know what? When I was saying about the religion and all that stuff, there was kind of like guilt and sacrifice involved with your relationship. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. That now you are now open to finding a new way to have a relationship together. And I think, well, I'm just going to put this out there because this is what I'm getting, is that in a way, you're a little bit more open to finding a new way than her, but at the same time, you both are willing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Polly, what were you going to say?
Yeah, no, well, actually, I have a question, but I feel like, it's the new beginning. It's definitely it's good. I mean, it's good, for sure. Okay, so I got this word, sometimes I just hear things that who knows why. So it could be a name, or it could just mean something to you, or it could be somebody that's listening. But Barry, like the name Barry or berries or something like that, I have no idea why, but it just popped into my head. So does that mean anything to you?
No.
Okay, who knows? Maybe somebody will let us know. But I was very much coming. But I think just overall in your life, whether you look at it, your daughter or, whatever's going on in your life, know that it's getting easier. And are you taking, earlier I talked about
You're cutting out a bit.
Yeah, you're cutting out. Start again. You did cut out.
Okay.
Start again.
Okay, so are you taking a course or something that you, is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, because that's a good thing for you right now.
Yeah,
and are you gonna be able to, yes?
Say that again.
Okay, so is it a class or a course that you can take and then you're gonna share what you're learning?
Yes.
Perfect, because that's exactly the perfect thing for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing, I mean, everything right now, repairing the relationships, taking the class. Those are the two big things that I picked up immediately.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Say is that, of course, I love the card. So I just picked another card as we were speaking, and remember when I was talking about your spirit guide / you, whatever, coming back to help yourself. You're literally coming back to help yourself in this time. And I picked the King of Winter, which is so perfect for this part of you. It is the knowledgeable, experienced man that's coming in to help you. That's the part of you that's like that, but it's also an energy that's going, hey, you need to do this. This is what you're going to do right now, because I have a sense that for quite a few years you were a little like flighty, like I'll do this, no, I'll do this, no. And he's just like going, hey, hold on, now you're going to do this. And it's kind of, I'll read the card to you really quickly. It says, get advice from someone objective but knows you well. Interesting. And that's exactly what this energy of this your spirit guide is doing you. He's giving you advice, and he really has helped you with your relationship with your daughter, for sure. And he's really going to help you with your professional, And the Winter is the cups, and the cups is about feeling. You're in a place of being more vulnerable than you've ever been, and just exactly like what Polly said, this is the time and the space. It's perfect for you because vulnerability is your strength. Vulnerability is your strength. Make sense, Julie? Makes sense.
Good.
Okay, and I just have one other thing, and then we can move on to the next part. But if you look at like the way you raised your daughter, and so your relationship with your daughter, and now you have the granddaughter, so you can even be honest with your daughter because if she's if you could be honest with your daughter and say, I wish I had done some of this with you that I'm now enjoying with the granddaughter, and I see that more as the granddaughter gets older. But it's something that you and your daughter can actually enjoy together. So whatever it is, like, who knows what it is, but it's something that maybe you and your daughter didn't have it when she was that age, but now the three of you have it. And so even though it didn't happen the first go around, the three of you can do it together, and it'll be really beautiful. And it's as easy as you saying, I didn't but I can now.
Right.
And it's a really, I mean, that's like a beautiful, you can't ask for anything more than that.
No. What a gift.
What a gift.
It is. I mean, it's
Mhm.
like, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's what family, you know, that's why we have family.
Yes.
For sure.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna kind of like start wrapping up here, but you know what, and all of the viewers can see that what happens with Polly and I is that we just deliver the messages that are given to us, and so we see if that is relating to our guest today or not. But I'll ask you: is there anything that we have not covered that you came here wanting to know? Is there one question that you're like, I've been wanting to know about this, that we can check in to see if we can help you with? Is there anything?
Yeah, the area of romance.
Okay.
And when I'll be involved with someone again.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to tell you the first thing that I saw is literally like I saw a man there, but it's almost like you're kind of afraid. Like he pops up, he's like right there, like practically, you know, next door, so to speak. But it's almost like you're afraid. Like, are you ready? It's like when it actually happens. So I don't know if have you already met this guy and you're like, whoa,
No.
I don't know if I'm okay. But does that make sense to you? You're like, whoa, I don't know if I'm really ready for this or not.
Yes, I had a breakup in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty tough, and yeah. So now I'm a little reluctant, but yet I want to love someone and have someone love me.
So just go, when you meet that person, just go slow. You know, and if he starts moving, like if you feel too much, you know, pressure to you know, move to Hawaii with him or whatever, just be, you know, you'll know. Just if you need your space, I guess that's what I feel like is you actually need your space. So as long as you're having that, you're okay. Because yes, you will. Okay, Max, you're always the relationship guru.
Really, I am. Okay, so
you always pick up the relationship stuff.
Okay, so Julie, so you had a relationship in 2014. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And that was a long-term relationship that ended?
It was not long-term, but I was engaged.
I'm going to ask you something really bluntly. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, you just have to just say yes or no. It doesn't even matter. Is the father of your daughter still on this planet?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel that there has been death. I feel like there has been like it almost feels like you're a widow to me. It almost feels like there's a widow feeling to you that's like that kind of closed you up, and it kind of makes sense because I got the Ten of Pentacles upside down, which means a loss of a family member. And I'm not sure if this is the person in this last person. I think it's someone much deeper, that it feels like it's almost like, whoa, this person, it's like a healing for you, that something needs to heal for you. I go back to that very significant, there's a significant loss in relationship. What is that about, Julie?
I just lost my brother in August of this year.
That's interesting. I'm not sure. No, it's more like a widow feeling, because that's a sister feeling.
Okay.
First of all, I'm really sorry.
Thank you.
And my heart goes out to you. But there's it feels like this. It feels to me that there's some healing about a broken heart, about being completely devastated, that you're working on now because of all of your spiritual inquiry.
And I totally picked that up also.
Yeah.
But I also feel, Julie, that you can meet somebody, and as long as you move slowly, move in a way that feels comfortable to you, he actually can help you heal.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like your relationship with your daughter and all that stuff. That's also healing for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's all
that's
it's all going to
primary.
help.
It's the,
But
that-
it all helps.
Right.
it's a reflection. Remember I was saying about the vulnerability and all that stuff with you and your daughter and all that
Right.
stuff?
Mhm.
That is a reflection of how you're healing so that you can be ready. Because I also got the Two of Swords card, which is all about, like, it's time to just take a break a little bit. You kind of need to, like, reorganize and find your heart again. There's, like, a reorganize, find your heart again. And I feel like you've been distant from your heart. And I think that your heart is, like, wonderful. I can feel your heart. You have beautiful energy. But I don't know if you can feel it yet. When
Right.
you can really feel it and you can feel it, because as soon as I saw you, I was like, oh, she's got a beautiful heart and so much love to give and so much love. But I don't know if you really believe that yet. I'm not sure if you
Right.
see it.
Right.
Is that true?
True.
Yeah. So this is the time for you to, like what Polly was saying about, like, this, whatever your new venture is, whatever, and your spiritual thing. You take the peaceful hiatus to just work on you, to do your own stuff. Because as you heal, that's when it's all going to start kind of manifesting. Because you're a very charming person. You're very charming.
Thank
And I
you.
think there's a lot of men that would be like, wow, she's so adorable. I want to be with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're adorable. There's something, like, adorable about you. And I think that when you know that, that's when it's all going to start happening. And so the answer to that question is when. The when is you just keep being in the moment, doing your work, doing your work.
Mhm.
Because it's really good. You have so much to offer. A lot of love. A lot of
Thank you. Thank you.
good. Polly, did you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I totally agree because I feel like the healing with your daughter, I feel like all of that's healing. I actually feel that as you start opening up more, and you will meet somebody, and that person's going to help you unfold even more.
Mhm. Mhm.
For sure. So it's not like, here's the thing, it's not like, you know, sometimes people hear, well, you got to work on yourself, get yourself completely figured out before you go meet Mr. Right, whatever. You know, but people say that. But here's the thing, you're going to meet somebody, and that's going to be a continuum of you falling in love with yourself and falling in love with life.
Mhm.
So yes, you will.
That's great.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay, well, Julie, thank you so much for being on the show. We're actually we're gonna wrap up. We'll let you say a little bit, but we have to move on into helping people to move into 2016. So just shortly, just tell us what your experience was, or what you thought about what Polly and I had to say to you.
I Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I mean, yeah.
It was right on. It was right on.
Mm.
I mean, I've got chills in the back of my neck, and you know,
Good.
the angels are
Yeah.
just surrounding.
Sweet.
Thank you.
There's so much love for you. It's so
Absolutely.
good. Absolutely.
And you, I mean, Julie, just recognize you're in a beautiful place right now.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really just like you've crossed this into this. I mean, you really are in a beautiful place right now.
I feel that too.
Yeah, you are. You're actually very fortunate.
For sure. For sure.
Very
All right, Julie,
blessed.
so I'm going to give you, I have to be the host and I have to move things along. So, I have to put my host hat on now. So I'm going to give you the option. Julie, do you want to hang out with us and just stay on mute and watch us?
Yeah.
Or we can let you go and you want to just hang out and watch?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I'm gonna mute you now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Julie. We love you so much.
Thank
Love
you.
Too. Love you too.
And then before
Stay
we
in
move,
touch, Julie.
yeah, for sure. And Julie, when we're all done with the whole show, you don't go away because we'll talk to you.
Yeah.
So great. So what I wanted to say is that everyone else here, we're going to now go into something that's going to help you to quickly. We're going to do this quickly assess 2015. And then kind of project what 2016 is for you, because we believe, Polly and I believe very strongly about energy and making intentions. Intentions are very, very strong. What happened to you last year? What's going to happen to you this year? This is a kind of like a I was going to say, a Reader's Digest version of what we will do in Los Angeles on January 10th, and we will also do in Anchorage in at the end of January. So, but these questions that we're going to ask you, we might not spend a ton of time with them, but I want you to write them down so you can ask them to yourself, and then you can actually start to create a vibrational frequency that starts to create the 2016 that you want in your relationships, in your career, in your finances, and all of that, and your personal development, whatever it happens to be. Okay. So do you want to say anything at all?
No, I just yeah, exactly. I just want I think it's important for me for people to recognize, to look at different aspects in 2015 with gratitude, because even if there were some things that came along that were a little tricky or a little uncomfortable, we still have gratitude because we're still taking some stuff. Even if it's courage, we're still taking stuff from that event or whatever it was, and taking that with us, even if it's just the courage, taking that with us into 2016.
I agree. I love that. Okay, so this is how Polly and I work. Polly and I are very easy peasy. We work on we do our homework. We know what we're going to do, obviously. But we also, in the moment, we like to live in the moment, which is a big, huge lesson for all of you. We like to live in the moment. So we have a breakdown of what we'd like to do. It's a year-end assessment and New Year projection. And we're going to read these things to you. And so here's the deal. Polly, would you like to do the assessment portion, or would you like to do the projection portion? I think that's easier.
You do the assessment. I'll do the projection.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Is that good?
Okay. I think that's great. Sure.
Okay.
All right, so let me just pull this up. Okay, good. All right, so everyone that's watching, and even Julie, if you've got a piece of paper and a pen, you can do it too with us. So this is really important. As a teacher, I've been teaching for many, many, many years, that one of the best parts about learning, and the most effective parts about learning is assessment. And a lot of people just move on before they assess what they just went through. And so it's really important that we assess, we understand what worked and what didn't work. It's really important so that we can use those things energetically and intellectually, so that we can have a better understanding of what's going to come in the future. Okay, so sorry, I have the hiccups. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I just wanted to say, looking back at this past 2015, I'm going to give you categories. We're going to go through them really quickly, and what we're going to do is that I will say something really quickly, and so will Polly, and we'll give you examples. Okay? So Polly, that's what we're going to do. So explain where you were and now how you're experiencing your life. Okay, so the very first section is, everyone write down on your paper, the experience of your life. Okay, so what I mean by that is you want to see where you are now, what was the experience of your life, and this can be positive or negative. Okay, the experience of your life. And it can be either way. And you can put it in 2 sentences. Don't make this too crazy. All of the stuff that we're going to do, don't make it so detailed right now. You can go back. Okay, so I'll go first. The experience of my life in the last year. I would say the experience of my life in the last year, how I experienced my life. This is not exactly what happened, but how I experienced my life was... the words kind of escape me right now. Okay, so the experience of my life, even though I was taking a lot of action in the world, my experience from a big picture point of view is that I was stepping back and watching a lot. I was watching how my life worked. I was watching, oh, I can do that. No, I don't want to do that. I can do. I had this last year, I have to say, I had a very healthy detachment from the experience of my life. And I think that is actually a very positive thing. I think it's good. It helped me a lot because it's actually prepared me for a lot of the action that I'm taking now. So it's good. And I also think the experience of my life was I could feel and I could vibrate. I could feel the vibration of lots of amazing things starting to spring up in my life. So that's the experience of my life. Polly, what was the experience of your
Okay,
life?
I would say for me it
2015.
was 2015. I saw the product of a lot of hard work that had taken place. You know, for some of it over a decade. You know, had been working. You know, creating and seeing the positive outcome of that. That's a big thing. And also, I had many reminders of. You know, so Max and I are intuitive, so you would think, okay, that we're going to march through life, and when we walk into the store, we're going to intuitively know, you know, what aisle we want to go to get the green beans or whatever. But it doesn't, you know, it doesn't always. But you laugh, but it's true. But it doesn't always work. It does not always work that way. And what I have to say, one of my biggest things that I learned about this life is when I first, when I first get the inkling of doesn't feel right. Pay attention. I personally, oh my God, I don't need to be reminded of that anymore. I think I finally learned it this year. Because, anyhow, yeah, so that's me.
I
Yeah.
love it. So everyone that's watching, and Julie included, ask yourself what the experience of your life was in 2015. Okay, so now the next thing is how have you grown? Next question is how have you grown? I would say how have I grown? I would say how have I grown? I have grown in following the flow. In following the flow. And it comes back to what it's very similar to what Polly just said. I think I've grown in that it's like I'll give you the example. I had no idea what Periscope was. I didn't know, and I was like, oh, go, just keep going, and it's kind of changed my whole business and my whole perception and my life in many ways, and it's a huge blessing. So how I've grown is that I've followed more this year, which is really good. So, what about you, Polly? How have you grown?
Okay, for me, it's
Similar
definitely,
to
I've grown, definitely grown professionally. But another thing that's happened for me is I don't worry about stuff. Oh, gosh, like, you know, should I not do something because people are going to get mad, or you know, whatever is, you know, what's so and so going to think about. Or even like, you know, we've got 3 kids. Even if there's something that one of the kids are doing, it's like I don't worry that much because it's all good. So it's really easy for me to separate. And that's, you know what, we've got 2 teenagers in the house, to be able to step back and be like, it's okay. That's huge.
You mean the easy peasy thing?
The easy peasy. I mean, it is. Like, I don't like my house to be in a disaster mess. That's not so easy peasy for me. But just in terms of, like, whatever.
Yeah.
The face.
Right. I love that. Cool. So everyone, the second thing was how have you grown? The third thing, and this kind of a lot of these will kind of like blend into each other. But what have you learned? The next one is what have you learned? I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I have learned, and sometimes you learn things you actually know already. I think I've known this, but I think I've learned it this year that I'm a really good teacher. I think that I've known that, and I've had experiences of that, but I think that this year I really learned I'm a good teacher. So that's what I learned. What about you, Polly?
I would have to almost go back to the thing again about just paying attention to my first instinct, paying attention if something doesn't feel right. And so it goes back to what we were talking, you know, that again is a big thing for me. I did have one surprising thing that I learned, though. You know, it was probably a year ago that I was telling Max, I am not going to coach. I love doing intuitive readings. I don't want to coach. And it's actually just been these past few months. Oh my God, I have been having so much fun having the best clients doing intuitive coaching because I kind of get to do both at the same time. It's phenomenal. And that is a big thing, because before I was like, anyhow, that is a surprise. If somebody had told me at the end of 2015, would I say that I love doing intuitive coaching, I would probably say whatever, but I love it.
Yeah.
So that's.
Here's my smug face.
I know, but I couldn't do it. I could not embrace it for a while.
Then, but me as an intuitive, I knew you could. I could feel it. Anyway.
I just had to wait. Yes.
It's fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad. So, what have you learned? The next one is, what have you achieved? What have you actually achieved? This is like codified. What have you actually achieved? And I will definitely go back to the Periscope thing. I have achieved incredible status in Periscope. I feel that I am a name in Periscope on some. That's not exactly what my. No, I will say this. That was a goal of mine. Is that I knew that this was a social media that fit every single thing that I do. So I feel like my biggest achievement from this year was I learned to follow my intuition. I learned to really do it, and I achieved a notoriety, but mostly I achieved helping so many people, and that just opens my heart up and makes me feel amazing. So that's my biggest achievement for this year. What's your biggest achievement?
You know what? I'm always like overjoyed with the success of my family members, but I am like overjoyed that I feel like, and you know this, Max, when you start a business on your own, and especially something that's non-traditional, like being an intuitive or an intuitive coach, I have achieved, I'm actually like making money doing it. It's like phenomenal. I'm actually staying busy. And that for me, and I love the people I work with, that for me is huge. I mean, it's like hallelujah, because it happened. And I'm like overjoyed with it.
Congratulations. Now, I'm gonna delineate a little bit from what's written right on the page that we have, and I'm just gonna be like, and this is important. What are you really thankful for this last year? I'm gonna write that in there. So, what are you really thankful for this year? And you know what? I have to, and I'm gonna say this in all honesty, and this is not just because we're doing a show. I am really incredibly thankful to you, Polly. I mean, I can't even cry. I won't even cry. But really, you being in my life has been amazing to me. There's so many things that, really, I'm not even kidding you. I'm so thankful for you on so many levels. You're a bright light. You're an amazing friend. You've just been amazing. So.
Okay, everybody, just so everybody knows, we're just super lucky that somehow we were brought together, because we definitely help each other. We definitely work well together. And Max, if it wasn't for Max, I wouldn't be doing everything I'm doing. So we definitely, we were whatever we were in other lives. But again, I mean, it's like, that's the thing, is if you can find somebody in your life that's, that you connect with, that helps you move forward in whatever spiritual path, oh my God, it's like you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
So,
amen.
So I think, amen. And
I'm so much more mushy than Polly is, but it's like, it's like, I'm serious, and you said it really well, Polly, and everyone listening to me, I mean, to the show, is that it's really true. It's like, when you really find someone professionally, privately, whatever, in your personal life or private life, that really is a match for you, you stick with it. You stick with it. Because there's something you might not know what it's about, but you stick with it. So, thank you, Polly. I'm incredibly thankful.
Thank you, Max. And then, just on the light side, so that you laugh. So, I know, I mean, this is the thing, is Max and I, when we're together, we do laugh and we are a little bit naughty. And so, I'm sure that we'll parent later on in January. I mean, just, on a funny way. We just laugh. So. For sure.
Okay, all right. So we're running to the end of the show, and we've gone over. Yes. So we're gonna go. So everyone knows we're gonna go a little over. We've got a few viewers, so they're gonna stick with us while we watch me cry and you laugh. So you're gonna go into your questions now, which is about projections into 2016.
Yes, and you know what? I'm going to switch it up a little bit because
Sure.
I want to know what is it that you are bringing from 2015? Like, you know, if you had to mention several words, like if it's love, if it's courage, if it's your self-awareness, if it's your, you know, the spirituality that you found, what are those things that you're bringing with you into 2016? Because it's you're bringing with you because you did a lot of work and now you're bringing those tools in with you into 20. So what are some of those, Max?
So interesting because, you know, my teaching, whatever. I would say that I like the word thing. So I would say I'm bringing more faith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing more trust. And I'm bringing more willingness.
Mm-hmm.
Faith, trust, and willingness. I'm bringing more of that into 2016.
And I'm bringing in, you know, I really like how I've been able to be more go with the flow, like just kind of accepting or detached or whatever. So definitely bringing that in, but also my awareness of how, you know, not only do I love to help people, but I know I really help them. And so bringing that awareness in because I want to do a lot more of it. And so that's something I'm bringing in for sure. So that's, you know, it's like I've gotten some strength of some of the stuff I've been doing. And so that's what I'm bringing into 2016 for sure. And you know what? The peace in my family. Hallelujah to that.
Hallelujah.
So, hallelujah. Okay, I'm just going to pick one of let's see. So what would you like to, out of everything and all the ways that you can impact the world and all the ways that you have things that you can share with your neighbor, share with whoever, what is your greatest goal that you want to do in 2016? So I'll give you an example. Like, certainly for me, it's continue doing the work that I'm doing and having my business grow. But it's also really important for me to do charity work. And so for me, it's doing everything that I'm doing now, but feel like I'm making more of an impact on things like charity work for animals and for peace in our world. So if I can feel like, you know, even if it's a sizable thing, like I can say, okay, I raised $5,000 for this charity or whatever. Like I really want to feel like I'm making an impact somehow in some type of charitable organization is really important to me.
Nice. I have to just be honest, so I'm always honest. Is that the thing that came to me right away is the Gandhi quote. Be the change you want to see in the world. And so that came to me immediately when you said that. So I was like, oh, that's a cue. That's a cue and it's a clue. Is that I feel like for me, for 2016, what I want to maybe bring to the world is more. This is a little bit deep, but I'm going to say it anyway. Is that I feel that for me, we are all bringing our energy to the world. We're all bringing our energy to the world of what we're focusing on, what we're doing, and everything. So I feel that I have been lacking in my academic pursuits as far as reading, as far as studying things I don't know, being more open and becoming a richer human being, so that I can somehow, I don't know if I'm going to teach that or whatever, but I feel like that might be for everyone too. But I feel like for me, I have a real thirst for academic knowledge, and even if it's just like reading more Shakespeare, reading more novels, understanding Dostoevsky a little bit better. Whatever that happens to be, I love that work, and I think that affects the world. I think that affects the world. So I'll say that.
That's beautiful, and it kind of goes back to what we were originally, talking about is how, as we develop inside and we start sharing that with the world, but it also, you have to have, to share the stuff with the world, you also have to have some way to connect with the world.
Yeah.
And that is through divine energy, but it's also, it's ways, and so it's all of it.
it's also the whole idea about filling your well, your well, to make sure you're filling your well all the time. And I think that's one thing that I want to take into the new year for me is that I feel like because of what I do and because of what you do, we give so much. We get so much. And I think that, and I was listening to this really wonderful show on BBC the other day about Shakespeare, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's right, I freaking love Shakespeare. And when's the last time I did a Shakespeare play, or when I really read a Shakespeare play or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, I love that. I love that. So I think that, and that's a good kind of lesson for all of us. What are your passions you have left behind that maybe in 2006 you can delve back into so that you can be a richer person to share that with the world?
Yep, I totally agree, because you have to somehow, whatever makes you happy, you've got to do it. You've got to keep you happy, for sure.
Amen, sister.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, we are at the hour. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So, good. So I want to, we have a couple things to say before we wrap up. And I guess I'll, the complimentary ticket to our event in January 10th, should we wait till that for the end?
No, we can do it right now.
Okay.
Because we're at the end, Max.
I know, but I thought that you would like to talk about your business.
Yeah, we will, but you can do you do that and do your business. Yeah. No.
All right, so here's the deal. Polly is going to be in Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles right now. On January 10th, we are going to be doing an event at the Mystic Journeys bookstore in Venice. We're so excited about this. This is our third time there? Third time? I think it's third.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful space. There's a lot of energy. We really shift energy. We do readings. But this time, on January 10th, is a Sunday. It's from 12:30 to 3:30. And so it's 3 hours where we're going to do readings. We do intuitive readings with the group. It's beautiful. But then we're going to take the second half, and we're going to do this 2016 work with you so that you can really project and you can activate the law of attraction and everything. And it's going to be actually a really beautiful afternoon. So we want to, Polly and I decided before we started the show, is that we want to offer one person in the Los Angeles area to get a free ticket to come see us. There's only 25 seats available. We've sold some seats already, but there's only 25 seats available. But we want to give one person in the Los Angeles area, or you can get to Venice if you're in Washington. You can get to Venice on January 10th, Sunday. Then you are eligible. You are eligible. So this is how we're going to do it. If you're interested in that, you need to retweet. I need to write this down so everyone sees it. You have to retweet my last tweet on my Twitter account. Let me pull this up. Hold on a second. And you'll see it because there'll be a picture of the event right there. You retweet it, and then we're going to do the drawing. We'll let you know who wins. So it is at Max Ryan Coach. Okay, here it is. Don't look at the AT&T stuff right there, but it is at, oh, it's too bright, sorry. Anyway, just at Max Ryan Coach. It's the last tweet that I did, okay? It has the picture. You need to retweet that. And tomorrow or the next day, we will do a random, it's called Competition Agency. We have nothing to do with it. I will randomly do it, and I'll do it on Scope to see who will get it. So it'll be on Periscope, and whoever gets it will get a free ticket to come spend the afternoon with the amazing Polly Wirum and myself. Okay?
It will be super fun.
Yeah, so retweet that, and I'll tell you what I'll do is that tomorrow, Polly, should I do it tomorrow or Saturday?
Tomorrow. We don't want to wait.
Okay,
we want to know.
So tomorrow afternoon, please follow me on Periscope. I know Julie follows me on Periscope. So if you're in the Los Angeles area, I'll do the drawing live tomorrow afternoon. Okay?
Perfect.
So that's what I wanted, because we would love to see you there. It's going to be, those events are beautiful. They're amazing.
They are.
Yeah.
They are amazing.
And if you don't get the free ticket, you can get our a ticket at attractpositiveresults.com. That's my website right there. Don't forget it. So you can go there and you can get a ticket. All right. So that's that. Polly, what would you like to say?
Okay, so my website is gateways2piece.com with the number 2. If you want to know more about what the stuff that I offer, I also have a blog talk radio on Tuesday mornings. It's kind of at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. But you can go. It's Intuitive Readings with Polly. So go to Blog Talk Radio, and then this. You know what? I was going to offer a special. You just contact me. I always do a thing where if there's somebody that's doing like charity work where you volunteer and you're with a charity organization like with PETA or whatever, where you're doing volunteer work, the first person to contact me will get a free hour reading. But it's got to be like some type of volunteer charity work type thing where you're doing to promote peace, promote love in our world. So the first person to contact me with that, I'm all about that. Yeah, and I'm just really looking forward to hearing from people and to see you in Venice. And then Max, I'll see you at the end of January here.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be in Alaska, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Oh. Just so all of you know, there's 2 different things I want to say to you really quickly through my site and through what I do, is that tomorrow morning is the first of the year here in the United States. Tomorrow morning, we are starting on Periscope. If you want to, Periscope is an amazing platform. If you want to follow me, it's at Max Ryan Coach. We are doing every day. We are doing A Course in Miracles lessons every day, 365 days. The next year, it's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome and amazing. So we start our first lesson tomorrow morning. So so make sure that you do that. And yeah, I'm not going to do too much, but you can find out more. I'm just going to show this to you. Hashtag Love and Action on Facebook. This is what I show on Periscope. So our group, which is just beautiful, Polly's in it. Julie, you're in it, right? So it's hashtag Love and Action. It's a group of love and support and amazingness, and so everything that I do is there, and then you'll meet beautiful people. So if you want to be a part of our group, you search hashtag Love and Action, and you'll find out more about the Course in Miracles that's starting tomorrow. And so I'm committing myself, and hopefully, and if you feel so moved, it's completely free of charge, just so you know. Free of charge, nothing, just our love and our support to dedicate yourself for the next year to moving from fear to love, to have more peace and love and joy in your life. All right? So I think that's it. Right, Polly?
That ship is sailing. That love ship, we're already on it.
We love the love ship. We love the love ship. Okay, let me just, before we go, I have to look. I just do have to look. Is that I'm pretty sure that our next show will be January 21st.
Okay.
Thursday, January 21st. Because next week, you're coming down here, can't do the show, and then the week after, I'm in San Francisco. So our next show, make sure, you'll probably know, but it's January 21st at the same time. Okay?
Excellent. And we love comments. So
we love them.
Yeah, we do. Or even if there's somebody that has a question for us that they want us to address on this, just fire away.
Yeah, fire away.
We love it.
And if you're watching this on attractpositiveresults.com, there's a comment section below. And also, and even if you're not watching this live, on Gateways to Peace, which we'll put up there right now, you can comment below and let us know what worked for you, what you liked. And, oh, wait a second. How can they be on the show coming next week? So, do you want to say it, or do you want me to say it?
You say.
Okay. So, if you would like to be usually our show is only about a half an hour. So, if you'd like to be in Julie's position and us to do a reading for you, you can send an email to info@attractpositiveresults.com. info@attractpositiveresults.com and just say, I'd like to be considered to be a guest on the Divine Messages show. Okay? info@attractpositiveresults.com. And we'll go through those, and maybe you'll get to be on the show just like Julie did. All right?
Perfect. And Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. All right. So, So we will see you next year, and we send tons of love, tons of blessings. We love you all, and we'll see you in the new year. So I'll say bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.